What happened with you? Was that was in connection with the whole BMF situation?
No.
Did you feel like there was a possibility that they were like, he's connected somehow, let's go after him?
No, I didn't.
Not at all?
Nah, I mean, when their situation happened mid-2006, my situation happened January 2007.
Again.
6 months.
I never thought about it. I don't think so. I don't
Not
think
at
so.
all?
Nah.
But what was it like, that whole BMF era? You said I didn't...
It was like nothing I've ever seen in my life.
Like, give us a tour.
Yeah, because when you say nothing I've never seen in my life, it's like, blank.
I saw regular women be in the strip club and right there on the spot turn into strippers, like, because there was so much money on the floor. Like, All-Star Weekend 2003.
That's Miami.
No.
No.
The one in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
It was it was Atlanta, because that's when
Atlanta,
Get Rich or
right.
Die Trying first came out. And it leaked in it, and that's
I'm
what
thinking
everybody
about
was
BET
playing.
Awards in Miami.
All-Star Weekend 2003, BMF had all the cars on Peachtree, like 10 foreigns back to back to back. Traffic was insane.
Right.
Meech got out the car and said, yo, everybody, come on. We're walking to Magic City. Somebody said, what about the cars? Said, let them tow them, we'll go get them later. Left all the foreigners.
Use the tow service as valet.
On
And
Peachtree.
you gotta understand, these are Lambos.
That's crazy.
Hold on, these is
tow, we'll go get him later.
Hold on,
It's just
yeah.
like tipping the valet. Let's get
These
it.
is
Go get 'em
Lambos,
later.
Ferraris, Rolls Royce.
My nigga, when they would come to the
Same
club,
color.
they would come to the club 100 deep, everybody with BMF shirts, and everybody had a bottle of champagne.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yo,
How was this possible?
So
What?
listen.
No, I'm saying no, because you go to a club, bro, they don't have 100 bottles.
My
of
nigga
champagne.
No,
Blue,
listen to
the
this.
first time
Listen
I
to
ever
this.
saw any real money, this is the first, my nigga Blue Da Vinci, I asked him.
Wells Fargo. You know what I'm talking about.
I asked Blue to sponsor a Gangsta Grillz. This is early Gangsta Grillz. This is before they became like street albums, just to put their logo on. And he was like, yo, what you need? Like, what you need to, he was like, I was like, like 8, you know what I'm saying? Like, So he's like, all right, cool. He takes me to the crib. I'm thinking $800. This nigga gives me 8 racks. I'd never seen that much money in my life.
At that point?
At that point. That was the most money I ever seen at that point in my life. Mind you, this is like 2003.
Right.
I never, 8 racks at once. That shit sat in my closet for like a year and a half. Like the BMF, that time, like, I feel like Make It Rain came from,
Meech and company.
yeah, that came, like, niggas didn't throw money in the air. Like, that didn't happen before BMF.
Right.
Like, that was BMF.
How hard
their
was it
culture.
to play music when they were in the club? Because I remember ESSO was telling me when he was running with his artists, they wouldn't let him play the music, and he had to walk up to Meech. It's like, play my shit, nigga.
It wasn't me. Meech was there, but
Oh.
it was some big nigga. We was in Orlando.
Orlando.
We was in Orlando
tough.
with DJ Nasty.
Nasty and
And we
Pro
was at
Style.
Pro Style and Nasty, and we went to the strip club with Nasty later
That's an
on.
era.
And we was with Universal. And we was like, why you not playing the records? And they pointed over there like, yo, you gotta talk to the BMF niggas and ask
Yo,
them
that's
and
mad.
ask them if we could play the record. And I was like, bro, like, I was at the radio station with you. What are you talking about? And I'ma shout out to Yummy. Me and Yummy walked through the crowd. Shout out to Tone Bird. That's how I met Meech
My
and
nigga
them.
Tone.
That's how I met Meech and them.
Yeah,
Tone Bird. I
yeah.
met Meech and them on Mad Time.
Tone Bird, wow.
Tone.
Yeah, shout out
Yeah.
to Tone Bird.
I just seen Tone
and,
too.
and they gave
You just took
Nasty
it
the
back.
signal. Like, I'm a big ass nigga gave him the signal like, yo, it's okay. And I was like, I remember coming back
ill,
and
man.
I was talking to Sylvia Rowan. I said, what the fuck is these BMF niggas doing that we gotta ask them if the DJ could play our fucking record, my nigga, in Orlando.
I remember Cannon telling me how them niggas was just giving him a stack on Stack to just run a record back, and he would
Just
play
like that, man.
he would play the record just
And they would buy all the
45
bottles.
minutes straight.
45.
Like,
Yes.
BMF ran the club. Like,
Yeah. They came to New York, man, and bought every bottle.
Yeah, every
we
bottle
walked
on
in the club, they bought every bottle, and niggas was like, we would go try to get a drink, and they was like, they got all the bottles, and the crazy shit is that, you know, niggas ain't gonna go ask, but if you went and asked them for
They would
liquor,
give it to you.
they would be like, huh.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah,
You had to be bold.
Meech was one of the coolest niggas. He was one of the most down-to-earth niggas I've ever met. Like, the nigga was just thorough and cool, bro. Like, he's just a good nigga, man. I wound up at his house after Wolf got murdered and he was on house arrest. That was my first time actually like really meeting him and sitting down. We wound up finding out.
Did you hear about that night at all?
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah, I was in the scene, so.
You was in this.
I mean, I wasn't there that night, but
Okay.
of course.
What was it like hearing that? Like,
I mean, I heard the story, as it was told, and the situation got
Out of hand.
situation took place in Club Chaos, and it was over a female,
right.
and from what I heard, Wolf, kind of like got escorted out of the club, and he waited outside, and Meech came out, and shots was fired back and forth.
Right. Meech got hit in the
Meech,
cheek.
Yeah, Meech got hit in the cheek, and then he was put on house arrest, and he beat it for self-defense.
Right.
But yeah, that was the first time I met him. Like during that time of house arrest, and we found out that me and his son, Lil Meech, we have the same birthday, so. He was kind of hyped to hear that, and he told me, Jeezy was the first person to really tell me, like, yo, Meech fucks with your shit. Like, Meech be driving through campus, picking up Gangsta Grillz CDs. So like when I met him, he was already like, bro, I love your shit. I've been listening to your shit, and I was like, Jeezy, like I had a Gangsta Grillz party. And this was before me and Jeezy had did the first tape, Streets is Watching, and then him and Coach took me out to lunch. And he was like, yo, I was at your party in the cut. Fab was at the party. I had Fab, Tip, Killer Mike, I think Bone Crusher like hosting like on the flyer. But Jeezy was like, I was at the party. He was like, yo, I don't really think you know how much the streets fuck with you. Like, cause I was in the streets moving CDs, but I wasn't in the streets. You feel me?
Right.
So he literally was like, yeah, like your shit is like in the streets, bro. And he was, that's when he came to me with his idea and his like Jeezy was the first person to ever pay me for Gangsta Grillz. He paid me $1,000, to do the tape. He had his vision. He was like, look, this is how I want to do it. This is my vision. This is my movement. And I was like, okay, I didn't know, like, I was, at the time, T.I. was the biggest thing out.
Yeah.
And then I made Streets is Watching, and my man Jay from the Raw Report was driving by my block one day. I was with my dad, actually. My dad was in town, and he literally he said, yo, that Streets is Watching, that's the best Gangsta Grillz you've ever done. And I was like, word? Like, the new nigga? And, when they was when they was promoting Streets is Watching, it wasn't new Jeezy, it was the new Gangsta Grillz, because Gangsta Grillz was a bigger brand than Jeezy was at the time. And on top of that, the shit got so hot, and that was the only place that the music was, so all the DJs had to play the music with my drops and my voice all over.
I remember that. They was trying to rip your drops off.
So when you go into the
They
club,
was trying.
when you went in the club, you had to hear Gangsta Grillz, because the music didn't exist outside of me on it.
Question.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.